Greg. Mike. Two bandits. Watching Bluey.
This episode is called Squash.
What up, party people, and welcome to episode 56.
56.
Of
Who's keeping track?
Two bandits watching Bluey. I am your good pal, Greg Painter.
I see him right over there.
And with me, he's the little sister of every bandit bat.
Whoa!
And his name is...
I'm Mike Martin. Oh.
How's it going, pal?
Game on.
Game on.
It's going very well. Very well. I'm very excited. I'm a big fan of squash. Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh,
but... Yeah, I'm very well today.
Man, you have to. It's like 70 degrees in Syracuse in November.
November.
I was looking at my old lovely Facebook timeline. We had snow on the ground 2 years ago right now.
Surprise, not surprise.
And it's 70 flipping degrees.
Oh, let's go swimming.
I want to do some sort of sports. Should we go maybe play some squash?
Indoor?
Oh, that's right.
What are you doing?
But that court looked like it had an outdoor vibiness to it.
It does, absolutely.
Closest and only squash court I know around here is the one at the YMCA, which is very much indoors.
Is it squash or is it racquetball?
Ooh, that is a racquetball court. Isn't that the same?
Well, before you go to our good friends at Wiki Bluey, they are two different sports.
They're two different sports?
Well,
at least
by specifics.
At least we're not playing badminton. I don't think your body could take that. Dear listeners, last time I played badminton with Mike, I did a really nice little drop shot, and he decided, I'm going to get that even though I'm a mile away, and dove for it. But only led with his ankle.
Would have been
and
great.
The rest of his body stayed.
It would have been great.
And it done broke him forever.
I didn't do so great.
It was like 13 years ago.
Turned into a cantaloupe.
And he has never been right.
Never answered my call on a daily basis for a rematch. So we'll find out one day.
Based on what we see in this episode, I don't think you should squash because it looks pretty stinking violent.
I already have it as a possible bandit bet down the road of a competition.
That's the last episode of the podcast. R.I.P. Mike, miss you every day. But let's not talk about that.
We're here about squash.
Until we talk about what our good friends at Wiki Blue have to say about this episode.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah?
What's a squash?
When Dad and Uncle
It's a vegetable.
When Dad and Uncle Stripe play a game of squash, Bluey and Bingo are in control of their every move. And Bingo proves that big siblings don't always beat little siblings. That's a very long single sentence. There's no periods anywhere in what I just said.
Punctuation is lacking?
Important. Punctuation is important.
Oh, man. Excel spreadsheets and punctuation with Greg Painter.
Exactly.
I can see that, though.
Weird start. We're not in the house.
No.
We're walking down a path.
Oh, Greg's already read it out.
And we're already... Man, I don't want my kids controlling me by pulling on my ears.
Okay.
Because that doesn't seem pleasant at all.
Okay. I didn't even have a note written about this, but how comfortable are you with other people carrying your child on their shoulders?
As a
and
full
I'll say the same thing too.
Other people, probably not. Family, one thing.
Okay.
A random stranger, probably not.
Okay. Well, not random stranger.
My good pal Mike Martin, who's been known to fall and trip often, probably not.
Well, that's why I also give kudos in the episode because Stripe does beef it into the bushes with Bingo.
It does. Luckily, into the... We'll talk about the later beefing that happened, but this was a pretty chill one.
Pretty chill? So, in my head, I'm already relating to Stripe. Stripe's pretty cool in this episode. He might end up just the entire time. He probably might be possibly my favorite character. But, right out of the gate, he gets tugged over and gets pulled right into the bushes. And in my head now, I'm already in that Mike mindset of, I have a weak ankle. And he's going into this bush with... a literally on his noggin that's not his, and he's got to land 2 feet, boom, plant it. I give kudos to Stripe.
He sticks the landing.
Does stick the landing. Bingo and Stripe do start the fight though in this, not the fight, but the...
That is true. They're the first one who steered into.
Mm-hmm. So even though older siblings do always win,
big brothers always beat little brothers. Which, hey, did they forget Rat exists? Because you would think Bandit's middle dog, though.
Now it's his turn to beat Big Brother and stomp
I guess
on.
since he's not in an oil field.
Stripes on an oil field? And
Rad's on an oil field.
Rad's on the oil field, and Rad's also hanging out in his pool far, far away, in a galaxy far, far away during Christmas swims. So,
but it's squash time. I'm gonna pound you,
bro.
Yeah, right. Poor
That's
Stripe.
that's a sentence there.
Poor Stripe doesn't have. He doesn't have his big boy bark in this episode.
So-
Bandit's trash talking. Oh yeah, come on.
I feel like Bandit's bringing Stripe along for the ride in this one. I don't think Stripe has played many a game of squash. He's got sweatbands. He's got the wristbands. Like, he might even be borrowing one of Bandit's rackets to play, because it seems like he's I mean, at least in the first game, and also what he's walking into, he seems like the younger brother that hasn't played a lot of video games, and Big Brother says, "Come on, let's play a game." And Big Brother just says,
Dunk!
I'm going to stop
Boom
on
shakalaka! I'm on
NBA
fire!
jammed on. Let's go. And it's funny because I think when you see them stretching, getting ready to go, it shows the outside of the squash court. It makes sense, right? And
Squash arena.
The squash arena. And there's only one Powerade sitting on the table. I think Bandit brought the Powerade because
My dudes need some Powerade because it's a sweaty,
The electrolytes
for dogs that don't sweat. They sweat their booties off in this one.
at least right out of the gate, only one of them does. Poor unprepared Stripe is
He's having a rough go of it.
So have you ever played squash /
I've
racquetball?
played racquetball.
You have played,
I
okay.
have played racquetball, which is why an upcoming scene is very difficult for me to watch and not cringe a lot. But before that,
Uh-oh.
kids are like, "Hey, what are we gonna do?
Oh, that's right.
Where's Trixie and Chili today? Why are the kiddos on this racquetball adventure?
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't feel like a overly kid-friendly activity."
They're going to Hemabon.
They're in a hammer bar, just the two of them, having some sausages.
Sure. They found out about our new fundraising entrepreneurship up here, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to Home Depot." No, I don't know. It's a weird thought because I had the same thought of they're going and they're just squash balling, but they're balling out, and the little leagues are just there with them, hanging out. And with that being the case, where's Socks and Muffin too?
Oh, also very good.
Because is it
point.
like, are they playing field hockey and Socks and Muffin are hanging out at the field hockey?
Interesting, divide and conquer kind of day.
Oh, somebody doesn't want to watch the Healer children, but also not the other children from the Healer family. I don't know.
Questions galore, things that make you go,
Things that make us go, huh. The music is really cool in this episode. I know we say it a lot.
Oh, yes.
And it's a standard phrase. Right out of the gate, it's got that Olympic feel when Bluey says, this episode's called Squash. And it's got that doo-doo pride.
I write in my notes, Olympic vibes.
And then when they start the whole situation of who's going to control whom, when they get into the game of squash, it has more of like an 8-bit video game-esque music vibe to it. So it's...
Again, you read off my notebook, old school video game vibes here. Especially the controller looks like an old Atari stick.
Yep.
Like just like the doo-doo-doo.
And it's 2 different colors, so you know who's player A, player B. So it begins.
Now, I've got to take a little bit of a divergence here.
No, that's...
Because...
I'm not the only one anymore.
Very much in this episode, we've got a little bit of magic. We've got
You
these
think so?
things.
Okay.
These things control the parents. This controls Uncle Squash. This controls Dad. Do. Especially in the back half of the episode. No, don't make me lose. Do. Ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend Tim Dipple at TD Gamer on Twitter.
Hey, Tim.
Pointed out a really cool philosophy that I think might explain magic in the Blueyverse.
Okay.
He says magic only works if you give consent to be in the game.
So
this starts off and Bandit and Stripe say, hey, this is the game we're going to play. So that's how it turns magical, because they have consented to the magic. That's how Feather Wand works. That's why when Bingo first says heavy, Bandit doesn't know what's going on. And then when Bandit understands it's a game, that spoon's not moving no matter how many
BTUs that you put
exactly. So interesting theory, Tim. Appreciate the insight that you had.
And also you do have the whole that there's a little bit of oxygen breathing allowed in the squash court, so they can hear what's going on from the littlies outside of the squash court, so they do know magic is afoot. Is it like a universal thought process between the doggos of how magic works then? Is that how
That's the theory.
the Blueyverse works with magic? Okay.
According to Tim, and I'm buying. I'm buying that theory.
Is it always morning when you see Wendy? Is that how it works in the Blueyverse too?
Apparently.
Morning, Wendy.
No, I'm not buying, though.
What are you not buying today?
My poor dude Stripe getting destroyed. And I'm not talking about losing the game. Those walls, hey, bud, those walls are walls.
Well, yeah.
Walls are hard. And the walls in those courts,
Walls are hard.
Like, think if you took a racquetball ball and hit it against just a random wall here. There's like drywall.
Yep.
That's going to break through. Those are like solid wood all around kind of walls.
You do see that in the animation.
Those are soft.
You do see all the bounce marks from that hard racquetball going all over the place.
Isn't soft, Mike?
What?
A racquetball ball. Sir, how many of those served in your face?
Poor,
That would be game over.
poor Stripe. I mean, from what they say, the racquetball squad uses a narrow long racket. The ball, racquetball. Sorry, it's a bouncier ball.
Hey, bud.
It's a larger, bouncier ball in racquetball. So the squash ball is
smaller. You can't
smaller.
read it in your head on a podcast.
I understand that. That's how I work when I do this. It is a smaller but slower ball in a racquetball or in a squash ball court. Squash ball? So the squash ball is smaller. So when it hits, that's got some density coming at you.
That's like breaking your cheek. That's a big old black eye if they didn't already have black eyes from their fur. Oh. Poor Bingo. Something's wrong with my controller. I can't figure it out.
Like I said, I think Stripe's kind of new to squash. He's still learning, man.
Well, because he's like running every inch of that court. Bandit is barely taking 2-3 steps.
Not even
just
sweating.
Gentle touches. Doot, doot.
From what I've seen, he has control of the tee. What's in consideration of squash? So he has control of the. He's
Hwaaaaaa?
leading the pack every time. So he's got the head. He's basically
Look
serving.
Look at you doing all your squash research.
I'm doing squash research, baby.
You didn't watch the episode, but you researched squash for 45 minutes.
It changes midway through. The changing of the tee, control of the tee changes because somebody else has control. So keep that in mind. But
So what you're saying
as of
is
right now,
you're saying Stripe was playing the oolong game.
he, but the dripping of sweat from Stripe is hefty.
The dripping doesn't get me as bad as when he collapses on the ground and then just like
See the
a pool just like he just released his sweat glands that apparently you dogs have.
Poor dude. So
Ugh.
of all times, I don't think that you. So you notice a lot when it comes to your sweet Bingo. I know you do. But the last time Stripe beefs it, boosh, and hits that wall right in front of her, and you see the body of Stripe just blah, and then Bingo gets really sad. She doesn't cry. She's not crying, but the drips of sweat go around her eyes, and it makes it look like actual teardrops from Uncle Stripe's body
Yikes.
on the. If you rewatch it really quick, you see the drips going around her eyeballs like she's actually shedding tears, but it's from Stripe. My lord, that is. Oh, mwah, chef's kiss.
Animation.
Oh.
I also enjoy the air guitar celebration by Bandit at the end there.
I don't know how I missed that. From
Just very Bandit-esque. Very Bandit-esque.
It's like the gif that we post where he's dancing, but he should have the squash racket in his hands because that's just him bouncing on it.
Now, the very obvious bad parenting o'clock now.
You think so?
Well, little bit. Because now little Bluey says, big sisters always beat little sisters. We just taught you a pretty nasty lesson.
Neither.
Luckily, Bluey's a little bit more respectful and kind than her dad this episode.
Oh, I'm going to do my little twist back moment. The beginning of the episode where Stripe does give Bingo hope, where he says, I promise I will. Like before they start playing, you don't see that typical Bingo smile.
Oh, try your hardest. I promise. Yeah.
Her cheeks actually swell up a little bit more. You could see her cheeks puff. Just a bit of a more hope that you see from Bingo that you typically don't see of just okay. It's like, oh, okay. And you actually see that little sister hope.
I'll try.
Oh, please. Nope.
Bingo, all sorts of sad. Blue, let's just let her win this next one. Oh, you're such a good big sister.
And he pulls her over.
So proud of you.
He pulls her over. Whoever the Foley artist is or that does the audio for noises that happen, like, you know how you like crunch celery to make it sound like a bone breaking? I think they did like a sneaker squeak on a basketball court or something because Bandit pulls Bluey closer and he goes like a full on NBA.
That was a
Not bad
rough
for
note
Mike.
right there. Whew.
But it's got that squeak of a sneaker. Oh, you guys went for that one because it's just Bluey's buttocks going across. Okay, cool.
So we're gonna let him win then?
Nope.
I like that too. It's not even just like a straight nope. It's just like a nope. Just the way that line was delivered, it was just.
Oh, he's sitting there just strumming his little squash racket. Nope.
It's not how grown-ups work.
Not how grown-ups work. That's right.
That's how kids work. Well, then I guess kids are silly. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
That's not how kids work.
What do you mean?
You think old Finn Man, or I'll pick on my loving children.
Sure, either one.
Think Emily's winning a game and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna lose on purpose now, because that'll make Liv happy.
Oh, probably not. No. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, although our Animal Party, nope, our Mario Party games, whenever we play that, we play like the short games, and everybody has to win once. That is the rule. So whoever wins first, like, okay, well, it's that person's turn to win. So it's always very fun to me. I try to lose by as close as possible, like be the most second place.
So
make them sweat a little bit.
So you don't do the obstacle course similar to Bandit in the future.
Not so much.
Oh, you're not me. Okay, cool. One day, world, one day we'll get there and talk about it.
Flash cut.
Okay.
To the bubbler.
To the bubbler. Oh, I love that.
Stripe is going to town on that water. It's like he's slowly drowning, trying to get water into his body.
Poor guy. And the setup for that area, I love it because it seems like what they're visiting is almost like not a rundowny, but like a not as tended to YMCA kind of vibe, because you got the trophy case.
Oh, I got the reverse of it. I thought it was like, although everything in Australia looks cooler than it does here, but it seemed like a pretty chill hangout kind of spot.
The trophy case has like there's water dripping from the area where the water fountain, the bubbler is, and then inside the trophy case there's spider webs inside of there too. So it's a little older, and I don't see anyone else there. So. Well, maybe it's a gorgeous day like today, and we're hanging out in here recording a podcast. So
look at us,
egg on our face, squash on our face.
Little bingo.
You ever had squash before?
The game or the food?
Food.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've had it like once in my life. I don't know. I was just having that thought really quick.
You are all over my dude.
Of course I am. Hi.
Bingo. Trying to fix the antenna.
That's right.
In
The
Stripe's
back tail
tail.
that's helping out for the controller. These wireless controllers are not what they used to be, Greg.
Stripe offers to swap. You have a better chance of winning. No, because big sisters don't always beat little sisters. And that lip quiver from Stripe.
I think that's the only time you ever see that emotion in this entire series. Is that the wiggling Stripe face.
That's like me after watching most episodes of Bluey. Just the happiness.
Blue Mountains really gets to him, folks.
But it's intensity time. It's very much Rocky moment and dun, 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 dun.
I wrote down finally. I was trying to figure out the mixture of it, and I think it's a mixture of Eye of the Tiger from Survivor that you get from in the Rocky montages, and then also Crazy Train from Ozzy Osbourne, because it's got that dun 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 dun, and it's that, and they just combine them so well, and it's got that Karate Kid motif where it zooms in, and there's also like a swing,
We get like a
oh my god, the Hwaaaaaa moment from Stripe.
so good, but
Gets me.
We can't jump over this though. Bandit
Nope.
now. Bluey said, "I'm just gonna throw the game."
Nope. She says nope to him. Please, please.
Oh, we got 100 chocolate koalas.
Nope.
Just like the nope he threw at her just a minute before.
Exactly. And Bingo throws out the same one.
You can be in charge of me? No.
Nope. So they're throwing out the same phrase to him. Little let down in the captioning team before we get to the actual final battle. Because I feel like it's a final battle moment here. Because it's taken us a long time to figure it out. But oos is the phrase of excitement that you get a lot from them.
Oos.
They can't caption that phrase.
Oh, what do they say?
Worth diddly. Bandit says it earlier. And he says, boss! in the captions. I'm like, okay. Bingo says at one point in time, and it says yes, but I think it might be more like a yes. Sounds like an oos. And then no, well she says it twice because later she says oos, and it says Bosh. And I'm like, God,
Chris Bosh,
folks,
former NBA player.
Chris
Bosh, he's giving a shout out.
We'll tag you in the episode. Absolutely, former future guest. That's one of those, right?
After our we have like slow-mo ball going past Bandit's eyes, or he just
It's got that leaf moment for you, where it fizzes by and he's blurred in the background. I'm just, oh no.
he's like, I am in trouble for real now.
So he's controlling the tea now.
We're like you said, it's turbo tea time, and roles are reversed, sweats reverse. Here's my problem.
Okay.
I would like this more if it was just Stripe rising up and Bingo being a better control. I didn't need the Bluey face turn. I wanted Bluey to stay a little bit of a butt like Bandit.
Okay, cool.
So that it didn't seem like is Stripe really better, or is Bandit just really beefing it hard now? I felt like it took away a little bit from Stripe's journey and Bingo's journey to have Bluey just kind of hand them the game.
Do you think that Bandit throws the game though?
Well,
That's a heated version of debate online that I've seen.
At one point, he literally throws the racket out of his hand. When Bluey hits a button, like Bluey, whenever she does a whatever the thing to happen, he goes down too.
Is it a loss of confidence of Bandit to where he sees his brother being like, "Let's do this," and that maybe it was the initial Hwaaaaaa! That really intimidated him?
He definitely wasn't expecting it because he got the wow.
Yep.
He had that moment. But I would like it better if it was just have Bluey keep being a butt. Bluey's been a butt before.
That would have been cool too.
Have her lose and then learn the lesson.
A valiant
I guess
loss.
Little sisters are. Nah, I didn't want to win anyway.
Treat it like the squash Super Bowl. Halftime happened. You got to keep in and keep playing after halftime.
My dude, I can't hear leads at Super Bowls and fourth quarter collapses and not thinking my poor 49ers against the Chiefs. So let's move on to a different analogy, Michael.
Sorry. All right, let's talk about strength, agility, and determination.
Right in the love handles.
Oh, right in the love handles. He's throwing in jabs too. Like he knows he has the upper hand. So is he? I mean, who's throwing the game in the situation? Is Bluey the one that's thinking she's throwing it, and then Bandit still wants to be the bigger brother and be like,
and even
in your face?
And I feel like that almost steps on Bluey's lesson too, because Bluey's thinking that she's the hero now.
Yep.
Not good for them for rising up and figuring it out.
We're throwing the game today.
Exactly.
Oh no.
So that's
goes nobody's favorite character from today. Sorry, he's not sorry there, Bluey, but
we get it. We get that Olympic, like you said, that Olympic music with the victory.
Yes!
Arms up in the air.
I think there was a weird comment I read, and I think it was kind of cool, where he's shouting out strength, agility, determination, and somebody said in the same like, do you see other moments in the show where the breed of the dog announces what they are, and that's him announcing what a healer dog does? And the only one that popped in my head was Pom Pom in the
hardy breed.
She's about to say Pomeranians are. They're a small but hardy breed.
And Jack and Army. I'm a Jack Russell.
Exactly. They know what they are and they announce it. So maybe that's just his guttural sports moment of maybe he is not just dealing with him throwing the game. That's him feeling like I'm wearing this sweatband. All healers need to wear sweatbands.
We don't get a ton of sports moments. It's very fun, this one here. We get eventually in the US we'll get the decider, which isn't really them sporting. Mm-hmm. Did you see the exciting thing online a little bit ago, though?
There's a lot of things on internet.
About Disney Junior did a commercial.
No.
We got new episodes of Bluey coming up. Like U.S. Disney Junior.
With the spoilers from there.
And they showed like bit clips of the Decider and clips of the Mud one. I forgot what it was called now.
Sure.
But then also just a random clip of Stripe throwing a cricket ball. I think it's bowling a cricket ball, I think is how it...
that sounds right. Yes.
That's the pitch.
Yes.
But like nothing that's been in Australia or here before. And just like randomly on there is like, I want to see a cricket episode. Sign me up.
Wiggly giggly.
But it's fun where get back to it. I guess little brothers can be big brothers.
Oh, oos, is what
But
it said.
kids are still silly.
I
And-
think cleaning the squash court is the worst job
Ugh.
in Australia for that day. Because that room is filthy. The end.
So you talked earlier about poor Stripe beefing it into the bushes.
Uh-huh.
Bandit goes into over his head bush with Bluey. Bluey was not thinking that one through.
Again.
Because Bluey's getting just as bad at that situation as Bandit is.
Are we going for our favorite character today, or who's our least favorite? Because I feel like Bluey was like pulling at all of her go-tos of, oh, Bluey.
Our dude Bandit had a rough go of this one too, to be fair.
Nope.
But we'll... But that's not where we start. No, where we start, Mike?
Where do we start?
We say, hey, Mike, what's your favorite thing today?
My favorite thing, it was at first one of them. Dang it, it's not that. I was going to let you pick one and do the opposite. But you know what? It's the Hwaaaaaa from Stripe. Where everything time freezes. He's got his amped up music. He goes, ah! And it's out of nowhere. Like if I was in a squash room, I don't know what kind of music's playing in the background of a squash court. If it's just like, you know, some elevator music, or if there's some like
Courts
Van
are
Halen
super
going.
mega loud, so whatever's playing, you're not hearing it too well.
Okay, so you're
It's like a little echo chamber.
So if you and I are playing a game of squash, we just go into a court and you just throw the ball and we go, ah! I'm like, oh my gosh, he came to play. So that was my moment of, yes, gutter laugh. Greg,
Yeah.
what was your favorite thing today?
My favorite thing came seconds after your favorite thing.
Uh-oh.
It was the slow-mo ball just going right past
Again,
David's
the
eyes.
4K.
Like, wow. you nailed it when you said that was a very much 4D
leap bug moment.
for me. That was just very kind of... You don't see that 4D straight-on view often.
Mm-hmm.
You also see time broadcast normally. We don't have a lot of slow-mo shots
Yeah.
in this show. I'm trying to think of any other times it's just gone in super slow motion. I just thought I thought of one, but then I remember that was from The Simpsons and not
It's okay.
Bluey.
Well, it again shows that like a lot of these things that are done through the animation are made for adults because it's a moment that a kid would just, yeah, that's cool. And adults like, oh man. And you see the dust floating in the background when it oh, yes. Mwah. Greg,
Yeah.
then out of all of this, are you gonna pick the water fountain? Who's your favorite character?
I think we can both just say Uncle Stripe.
It's Uncle
now.
Stripe
Uncle
all
Stripe
day, dude.
Nailed it in this one. This is probably my favorite Stripe episode.
Yes. Yes, I'll give it to you.
It's tough because barbecue, Stripe's a bit of a butthead. Just still a good one.
We haven't gotten to Stumpfest yet.
We haven't gotten to Stumpfest. He's fine in Stumpfest. He's not the main course in Stumpfest. We'll get there in a couple weeks though, which is going to be a blast.
Very soon.
Christmas ones, he's fun, but this is very much like Stripe has a story arc. He doesn't really have a lot of story arcs.
Also done by
other
Dan
than
Brum.
Facey time.
Dan Brum is the
Yeah.
voice of Stripe in this, so you get that full brother vibe in this. So you can't blame it. And when you get to the end credits, it's not just written by Joe. It's written by Joe and Dan.
Oh, really? I missed
Both
that.
brothers wrote the episode together, so it was totally a brother vibe episode.
I have a feeling they've lived that day at times.
I wonder how much they were just like, oh, we do have to incorporate the kids in this episode, don't we? Maybe we should bring them along. And they're just playing control because we could do a full episode of a competition today.
Man, different multiverse of madness is up.
Go ahead.
What if the parents switched and Socks and Muffin came to watch? Instead, Bluey and Bingo stayed at home with Trixie and Chili.
Not to knock
I don't think there'd be any lessons learned.
Stripe's phenomenal teaching abilities with his children, because Stripe's fantastic and we love him here. I feel like the kids realizing nobody else is here in the YMCA or
Oh man,
wherever,
they would have gone ham.
they're
wouldn't
just
they?
running
Yeah.
amok and going nuts. And
We're a couple years younger too. I probably wouldn't be. That would probably be a trip.
that's where I thought it was kind of cool, because it was Stripe's redeeming moment to show a younger sibling that they could one up their older sibling, because you can't really do that in Stripe's dynamic right now because it is Socks.
It's like a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. Not a lot to be learned.
Right. And you're getting, here's a 4 and a 7-year-old watch a younger sibling show up. So, and I love that competition between siblings. It's something I always loved about, playing NHL games on PlayStation, where I'm just like, all right, cool, I'm going to take it not lightly at all. And just, you have to one up. You can't let up on a younger sibling, so.
So then how do you rank this lovely little episode?
I thank this episode. I rank this episode in 3 parts.
Ooh.
1/3 strength, 1/3 agility, 1/3 determination.
Yeah!
That's right. That's 9 out of 9, which is 100%, not 99.9%. That's right. Thank you, Stripe. Greg, how in the world are you here to rank this episode? Episode number, I'm going to guess 56?
You did it.
Nailed it. How are we ranking the episode Squash?
101 chocolate koalas.
Oh, the koalas. Is it an actual thing?
It is, and I looked
Okay,
it up, and
cool.
I was like, oh, that'll be so fun. I found them on Amazon. I can order them, and I'll have them here for the episode. Yeah, they're $30.
Ooh.
So, nah.
Do they taste
Granted,
like...
$15 of that $30 is shipping, but nah.
Do they taste like the fruit that we ate the other time?
I certainly hope not. Lychee?
Lychee, thank you.
Yeah, nailed
thank
it.
you.
Thank you! And thank everybody out there listening.
Yes,
as always, at Watching Bluey on Twitter, at Watching Bluey Pod on TikTok.
That's us.
WatchingBluey@gmail.com. Hey, if you don't email, that sounds a weird sentence, but if you're not big email, also plop into our DMs and send your comments or videos or whatever.
Oh, that sounds weird.
Interacting with fans.
Email? Plop into our DMs. Thank you, anybody, everybody, anyone that has purchased something from our merch. We've seen a couple more orders coming
We've had
through.
a few pop in, which is always that fun little text like, hey, Mike, was that you? No? Yeah! We dit it. bit.ly/2BWB swag. SWAG. If you don't know how to spell swag,
That's right. Do you even email?
if you want to make us smile, buy us a shirt. Well, no,
Or a sticker.
buy you a shirt from us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, don't buy us a shirt unless you want.
Patreon, bit.ly, 2BWBPAT, Pat.
That's right.
We've got so much stuff on there right now, and it's just the hits keep on coming.
We're still rolling.
Check it out.
We're very motivated on the 70-degree weather day here in November. Oh.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
But lastly,
And most...
importantly,
Oh, man, I love it.
if you want to play
Wait, hang on. Oh, it's going to be a squash court, isn't
a
it?
little squash,
Oh, man.
why don't you head over to the Daisy Hill Squash and Racket Club. 8 squash courts, a new bar and lounge,
Ooh.
plus a lovely pro shop to get all of your squash needs fulfilled.
Greg, I don't think it needs to be like a bandit bet competition, but I would love to play racquetball with you. It's actually very fun. I enjoyed it. I played it in college with a buddy of mine, although we did play at 6 a.m., so I had a disadvantage, and he was always ready to go, and he kind of whooped my butt.
So I guess we should go to daisyhillracketclub.com.au
I think so.
and book ourselves a court.
Use the promo code. Yes! Yes!
All right, well, we got to go pack our bags because we're about to fly 4,000 miles to play squash.
That's cool.
So that'll be fun. You know why, though? We got
What?
to do that?
I think it's plenty of fun because... Oh, I can't remember.
Because it's got to be done!
It's gotta be done!